All right, what I want to do first, just to make things go smoother as we move along here, is I've taped the ends of the rope here. It'll unfray if I don't, and it just makes it difficult to work with. Also, we're going to need to tuck some of the ends and as we weave. So I'm just going to help myself along by adding a little bit more duct tape on the ends and giving them a little bit more of a point. Just kind of help be able to thread the rope through different loops and whatnot. So I'm going to be able to do that on both ends, and this is going to be on my warp, or the frame that I'm creating, the loom that I'm creating. And I need these pointy little tidbits on the end so we can pull things through. So there's that, and then there's another one here. It doesn't have to really be very pretty, it just needs to be functional. We'll tip on the weft part, or the remaining part that we're going to be weaving through. And I'm just adding a little bit more on the ends here. And that'll just give us a wick to pull things through as we weave. So, all right, let's start to make a traditional pair of waraji. And what I want to do is I want to match up my ends. And then I want to just make an overhand knot, like so, with both of them, just so that they stay in place and they stay even. Okay, like so. All right. Then I'm going to use my feet as a loom. And what I want my feet to be is about, I'll say about maybe 6 to 7 inches apart for my shoe size, or for what I'm trying to build. Your feet, the width of your feet or toes are going to determine the width of your platform or sole. So if my feet are wider, I'm going to make a wider platform. If they're narrower, I'm going to make a narrower platform or sole. Okay, so I want something right around here. Essentially, I need to be able to match this one as far as width, so that they're not mismatched. They look right. They look identical as much as possible. So what you do next is take the knotted end, put it in the middle of both of your feet, like so, and then pull the knotted end up towards you, and make sure it stays on top of the loop here, like so. Okay, I've got this knotted end, and I want to give my, at this point, this is what we're going to measure. So at this point, I want to make sure I have enough to create this, an identical match to this one. So just for extra measure, I'm going to give myself, I'm going to straighten out my legs just a little bit, okay? And I'm going to give myself just a little bit more for extra measure by pulling on the V here, okay? So just a little bit more. Not too much. I think we got about right there, okay? You pretty much can eyeball it, and you can keep these in between your feet like this. This is going to create your loom, okay? The next piece, put my weaver over there. The next part is you take the top end and you crisscross them, like so, okay? Keep them on the crisscross. The crisscross should be tight towards the top of the loop, all right? So you should be able to, hopefully you can see that. So this is, I'm crisscrossing here, okay? And then we want to start by locking on our weaver, by taking the end here, and in between the X here, I want to insert the weaver, and I want to kind of loop it down and one more time, like so. So I want a configuration similar to this, okay? And that'll just hold it. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more length on here because we're using the rest of the rope, so we should have plenty of length. Shouldn't have to worry about too much. Okay, and I kind of hold everything in place. Then what I want to do, working from right to left, on my right side, I want to keep all my length of rope on this side. And I'm going to be working from right to left and I'll be pulling all of the excess rope from right to left, like so. So right now I have this over the top here, and I want to take my start of my weaver here, and I want to go under the first strand, then over the X, the middle two, and then under the left strand, okay? And then I'm gonna start pulling stuff through. Just pull. This takes a while. It's the tedious part because we're starting out with such a long length, but we don't want to have to worry about any splicing or anything like that. I have another video for making waraji, but just a slightly different style that I cover pitfalls and how to splice and certain things like that. I'll add a link to the bottom, and you can check that out under pitfalls. All right, now we've worked everything over to the left. Now I want to go over and under the middle two and over the right one, and do the same thing. Just keep pulling the length over to the other side, like so. And you will get slight knots, not a big deal. If you work slowly and deliberately, you'll get a better product, and you won't get so frustrated, and knots won't be such a big deal, okay? So now I'm gonna take this time, and I'm gonna cinch everything up using 2 fingers and pull everything up tight, like so. That's gonna be the key, is trying to get your looping even on the outside and the inside strands of your warp or your loom here, and cinching tight. So there's going to be a hand configuration that we're going to need to employ in just a little bit here. So I want to do this about 2 more times to make it for 3 times. So I'm going to go under, over the middle 2, and under the far left, and keep going. Just keep pulling, 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 and pulling, and pulling, and pulling, like so. That, and then now I want to go over. I went under on this on the right side. I want to go over on the left side and try to keep consistency with that. So I go over the left, under the middle 2, and over the right. Okay, and this is just to start. This is our anchor. That, and then cinch, pull up, everything tight. And one more time. And then back the other way. So, okay, now I want to take everything and cinch it up like that, okay? So now I have this sort of configuration, okay? And I have 3 on this side, and I have 3 loops on this side, okay? Now my 4th loop, this is our anchor, okay? This is how we anchor everything, okay? Now we're going to actually start the weave that we're going to use for the rest of the sole, the rest of the platform, all right? So taking my weaver on this side, okay, we started with under, so we're going to go under, then over the second one, underneath the 3rd strand, and then over the 4th strand, and pull everything through, okay? And I should say before then, what I want to do, let me start over, is now I want to insert my 3 fingers like so. Usually just the first digits should do. Okay, just like this. I want to have a configuration like this. And then I want to go under, over, under, and then over the other side. And I'm using my thumb to kind of hold the pieces of rope, the length of rope in place, so I don't lose control of it. I want to be mindful with this type of rope or cordage that little splinters might shear off and get in my fingers or my thumb. So just be careful with that. I might get a rope burn, so go slowly so you don't hurt yourself. You can wear gloves if you'd like. I'm sure that might help, but for me, it feels like I would have a little bit more control with my fingers, and so I just take my time. If this was softer rope, probably wouldn't be a big deal. You just have to worry about getting a rope burn. Irregardless, friction is friction. So, okay, so everything's on this side now, and now I want to go back the other way, and this time I'm going to go under, over, under, then over, and then pull everything back the other way. And see, at this stage you get little knots like this as the rope wants to bind on itself, and they're just really loops, hitches. They're easy to get out. And then now this is the crucial stage. Make sure you're pulling tautly on both sides as you finish each weave, and then I'm securing with my right hand and releasing my fingers with my left, and then inserting them and cinching them up and pulling them like so. Okay? So that's kind of the rhythm that we're going to use. So go under, over, under, pull through. Here. Throwing it over your shoulder here. Like so. And then you're going to go under, over, under, pull through, back. Okay, pull taut on both sides, pinch, release fingers, cinch up. And that's basically what we're going to continue to do pretty much all for the whole platform, so that we get a weaving pattern that looks similar to this. All right, and this, by the way, is the top. That's the heel. So I'm just going to continue on until we get to a point of making a first loops.